Yeah, apparently so.
What's up, Hattiesburg? It's your girl, Miracle Jennings, back with all the vibes for Southern Miss Today. If you're tuned in, get ready to ride the wave because we've got a show that's going to keep you on your toes. From the hottest stories to some major surprises, we're bringing all the energy today. Stick around because I've got a very special guest lined up that you do not want to miss. Plus, we're diving deep into what makes Southern Miss the place to be. Don't even think about moving. We're coming in hot with more fun, excitement, and all things Southern Miss right after this.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601 271 2420, or you can find them online. Sponsorship comes from American Graphics. Located at 8 Commercial Warehouse Drive in Hattiesburg, American Graphics provides custom screen printing and embroidery. They can be reached by phone at 601-602-2277. And the website is goamericangraphics.com. American Graphics, printing at its finest.
All right, Southern Miss fam, welcome back to the show that's about keeping you in the loop and pumped for everything happening around campus and beyond. I'm your host, here to bring you all the latest buzz. So whether you're grabbing your coffee, taking a break between classes, or just hanging out, stay tuned because we've got a packed lineup for you today. I promise you won't want to miss a single second of what's coming up. Let's start off with something truly exciting and who knows, maybe even life-changing. On Thursday, November 7th, from 12:15 to 1 p.m., we've got a special info session all about our summer program in London. That's right, London. If you've been itching to travel, dream of studying abroad, or just want a chance to explore one of the world's most iconic cities, this is your chance. Imagine spending your summer exploring the history, arts, and vibrant culture of London, all while earning credits. Whether you're a history buff, an art enthusiast, or just love exploring new places, you want to hear what this program has to offer. Grab your friends and head on over to the session to learn more. It might just be the start of an unforgettable journey. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Thursday night at 7:30 p.m., the School of Music is bringing you a magical evening of legendary composition, featuring works by Haydn and Golijov. Haydn's Morning Sympathy will deliver that perfect blend of classical charm and energy paired with Golijov's innovation pieces, showcasing styles from across the world. Our very own Meredith Johnson will be performing, bringing these pieces to life. So whether you're with friends, a date, or flying solo, sit back, relax, and let the music take you on a journey you won't forget. Now let's talk about an event that's all about honoring greatness right here in our Southern Miss community. On Friday, November 8th, from 12 to 1:30 p.m., we're celebrating the Southern Miss Business Excellence Awards. This is an annual luncheon where we get to recognize some truly inspiring people, including the Entrepreneur of the Year, the Alumni of the Year, and the Young Alumni of the Year. These folks have made amazing strides in their career, and it's a reminder of all that's possible when you're part of the Golden Eagle family. Hosted by the College of Business and Economic Development, this event is all about celebrating success and cheering on our own. All right, now get ready because Saturday is all about being packed with Eagle pride. First up, we've got game day, and you know what that means. Tons of excitement, cheers, and school spirit. And for this special game, the Pride of Mississippi Marching Band has something truly incredible in store for us. At halftime, they're putting on a military appreciation show that'll feature songs for all branches of the military, including the newest branch, the U.S. Space Force. It's a beautiful way to honor our veterans and show our gratitude to everyone who served. So if you're headed to the game, make sure to stay in your seats for halftime. You're in for a powerful performance that'll fill you with pride. Speaking of Eagle Pride, if you know any high school juniors or seniors, Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. is Black and Gold Day. This is our big fall visit day where prospective students get a full taste of what it's like to be a Golden Eagle. We're talking campus tours, a look inside the residence halls, an overview of financial aid, scholarships, and student life, plus an academic fair and even a student organization fair. It's everything a future Eagle needs to see just how amazing Southern Miss truly is. So if you know anyone who's thinking about joining our Southern Miss family, tell them to come on out, get a taste of campus life, and feel the energy for themselves. And we're not done just yet with the weekend. Sunday, November 10th, is all about honoring our veterans. Starting at 11 a.m., the Air Force ROTC Honor Guard will begin a 24-hour vigil at Veterans Memorial Park to honor the Hattiesburg residents who served our country. This event is both moving and meaningful as cadets will read the names of local heroes etched on the park's pillars. The vigil will conclude on Monday, November 11th at 11 a.m., just in time for the Veterans Day Parade. It's a powerful reminder of those who have given so much for us, so let's come together as a community to show our support and appreciation. Then, on Sunday at 3:30 p.m., the Southern Miss Concert Band will be performing in concert under the direction of Cody Edgerton. This group brings together both music majors and non-majors to share a passion for traditional band music. If you're looking to wind down your weekend with some fantastic live music, this is the perfect opportunity. It's free to attend and open to everyone, so come out and support our talented musicians. And before we wrap up, here's one more way you can make a difference this week. Right now, Senior Helpers of Hattiesburg and Christian Services of Hattiesburg are teaming up for a winter coat drive. They're collecting new or gently used coats, gloves, scarves, and other winter items for those in need. Every donation goes straight to Christian Services, so it's staying right here in the community. If you have any extra winter gear you don't need, drop it off at Senior Helpers on O'Farrell Street anytime from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. through this Friday. Let's help spread the warmth this season and make sure everyone in our community has what they need to stay cozy. And that's your news roundup, folks. But don't go anywhere. We still got sports, weather, and a few surprises waiting for you on the other side of this break. Southern Miss Today will be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
To the big-hearted, the bold, the teachers, the growers, the builders, the change makers. We need you. We are the Peace Corps. In more than 60 countries, we go the distance to make a difference. We're volunteers, partners, communities, bringing our experience, joy, and passion to building a better world together. Are you looking for more? Then we are looking for you. Join us at peacecorps.gov.
All right, welcome back, Southern Miss fam. You know what time it is. It's Eagle Sports time, bringing you all the action with that signature Southern Miss spirit. So let's dive in. Coming up on Saturday, November 9th at 2 p.m., our Southern Miss Golden Eagles are taking the field against the Marshall Thundering Herd, and it's not just any game, it's our military appreciation game. This matchup isn't only about football, it's a special moment to honor our service members. Expect the stadium to be electric with energy as we celebrate the bravery and dedication of our military. You'll hear the iconic tunes from each branch, including the newest addition, the U.S. Space Force. It's going to be an unforgettable experience full of spirit, pride, and gratitude. So grab your black and gold, bring your loudest cheers, and get ready to fill the stand. Let's show Marshall what it means to play on our home turf with the support of the Southern Miss family. For more updates and game details, head on over to southernmiss.com. All right, now let's shift gears to the weather. Southern Miss family, here's what's heading our way. Today we're looking at a mix of clouds and sun with a shower popping up in places. It's staying very warm and humid, so keep that water bottle close if you're spending time outside. And heads up, because there's a chance that our tropical storm could be making its way into our area this weekend. So if you're planning to be out and about, especially for Saturday's big game, keep an eye out on updates. The storm could bring in some strong winds and rain, but we know that Southern Miss spirit can weather anything. Up next, we have Mississippi Moments produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage with Clara Watson recalling working with the Civil Rights Movement in 1964.
This is Mississippi Moments, produced by the Center for Oral History and Cultural Heritage at the University of Southern Mississippi and supported by the Mississippi Humanities Council. I'm Bill Ellison. When civil rights workers came to the coast in 1964, Clara Watson helped them and participated in marches. She describes Biloxi as a safe haven activists could use as a base of operations.
I was with the civil rights movement. I was a person who marched on a veteran building. I helped the COFO workers who came into Mississippi during the Civil Rights Movement. I cooked for them, I cleaned for them, I kept their clothes clean. Biloxi was a safe haven for them. They came here because they knew they were safe here. But what they did, they were in and out past Hattiesburg in the state of Mississippi to help blacks to start voting. And then they started talking to me and they started telling me, things that was going on. And I really liked them. So I decided, hey, if it's that bad up there, yeah, I'll help. And I never was afraid of anything. And it never entered my mind that, hey, somebody could do me bodily harm or whatever. Because we, as people who grew up in Biloxi area, we didn't feel that. You see, Biloxi is sort of like the melting pot, and you get people from everywhere.
Bill Ellison hosts Voices of Our People World War II, a new podcast from Mississippi Moments, sponsored by the Mississippi Humanities Council. That's Voices of Our People World War II, wherever you get your podcasts.
That was your Mississippi Moment for today. Coming up, we have the pleasure of hearing from Andy Borelli, so stick with us while we hear a message from one of our sponsors.
Sponsorship for Southern Miss Today comes from Mississippi Beverages. Mississippi Beverages provides water, water coolers, and coffee service throughout South Mississippi. Take half of your weight in pounds. That's how many ounces of water you need a day. Mississippi Beverages can help you reach that goal by delivering fresh water to your door. To get more information or to set up a cooler and water delivery, you can call Mississippi Beverages at 601-271-2420, or you can find them online.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, Southern Miss fam. Today we have a very special guest in the studio with us today, Andy Borelli. Andy recently cast his first vote in his very first presidential election, a huge milestone and a moment he'll remember for years to come. Voting is such a powerful way to make your voice heard, and it's inspiring to see young people like Andy stepping up to shape the future of our country. We're going to dive into what that experience was like for him, how it felt, and what he learned along the way. Let's jump into this conversation and hear firsthand what it means to be a first-time voter in a presidential election. Andy, thank you so much for joining us again. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me in here.
Of course. Now, what inspired you to vote in this presidential election, especially since it's your first time?
Well, that's kind of what inspired me, was that it's my first election, and it's one of the biggest elections in the history. I woke up yesterday morning thinking, well, I didn't do any absentee voting since I'm not from Hattiesburg, and I texted my parents. I said, hey, I think I'm going to go vote this morning. So I got up, left where I'm staying down here, went home and voted.
Now, can you tell us a bit about the feeling you had when you first decided you were going to vote?
It's just really a patriotic feeling, The place, the hometown I was raised in, I had a teacher at my old junior high who used to tell us, if you don't vote, you don't really have a say in what goes on in the country.
Right.
If you don't vote, you can't complain about what's going on because you basically gave up your right to any discretion and description of what goes on. And I decided, you know what, I'm an American citizen. Not every country elects a president. I ought to get up and go vote.
Now, can you walk us through the moment you cast your ballot? What emotions or thoughts were going through your mind?
Well, it was just I know it's just a piece of paper and a pen in my hand, but it was still pretty cool because, a lot of places do electric voting, and my hometown's so small, we use a piece of paper and a pen and write it all down on. And there was just the presidential election and a few local elections, and I just marked down who I thought was best for each one, put it in the machine, and put my sticker on my shirt.
Now, how did you go about preparing for this election? Did you research the candidates? And if so, what was that process like?
I kind of had decided who I wanted to vote for, but I try to keep an open mind to everybody. I look at both sides, and the main two people in this election, former President-elect Trump and Vice President Harris, they they both had a few good qualities to them. There were a few bad qualities to them, as well as the third party candidates that were running. It's the same exact thing, and it's just you got to find who aligns with your beliefs the most.
Exactly.
It may not be one of the Republican or the Democrat. It may be a side person over here.
Now, did you have anyone in your life, like friends or family, who influenced or encouraged you to vote?
It's just everybody in my family has always been very patriotic.
Right.
We celebrate Memorial Day and Veterans Day and the 4th of July. We go all out on all holidays, and it's just like it's an overall thing. One of my granddaddies is big into current events and the U.S. government, and he, since a young age, he's always taught me the importance of the government and to vote.
Which is really good. Now, was there a set of particular issues that mattered most to you in this election?
I don't really know. I just the safety of the country and the people in it is a big one. I look at the economy because that all depends on mine and your and everybody here. That depends on our jobs one day. You know, I want somebody who can give me job security one day, because I graduate college in 2 years. I don't know how much longer you're here, but we're all going to graduate college. We need somewhere to work.
We do.
I want somebody who can keep a job open for me.
Absolutely. Now, how did you feel seeing that final ballot, knowing that your vote was going to be counted alongside millions of others?
Well, I know in the presidential race that the popular vote doesn't really mean that much, the population vote, as much as the electoral college vote does, but it's still nice. I've got the numbers pulled up here, and there's over, 80 or 150 million votes on here, and it's so amazing to think that I'm one of the 150 million, no matter what it's like, or even in the local elections, to keep a good man around or something.
What was the biggest challenge you faced as a first-time voter? Anything that surprised you?
I wouldn't say anything surprised me. I will say this was my first presidential election. I voted in general elections the last couple of years, like the Mississippi governor race last year I voted in. But it was pretty much what I expected it to be. Just, I don't like how we got here, the way the media treats everything. But that's why I'm in media stuff, to try to make it a little bit better.
Now, for you, what is the importance of voting, especially as a young adult entering the world of civic responsibility?
As far as responsibility, I think voting is the best thing you can do. It's like I said earlier, like I was raised, if you don't vote, you don't have a say in what goes on in the country. You can get out and protest and do whatever you want to, but you still don't have that much of a say if you don't actually go decide what happens. Voting is one of the core rights of America. When people migrated over here hundreds and hundreds of years ago from England has a royal family. They just run on blood.
Right.
America has run on the people. And that's voting is just such an important thing. And it's also good for people our age to get out and actually look, do research on the candidates. Don't vote for Donald Trump because somebody on your favorite show is voting for Donald Trump.
Right.
Don't vote for Kamala Harris because Taylor Swift is voting for Kamala Harris. You vote for Harris, Trump, Robert Kennedy, Jill Stein. You vote for whoever you want to because that's who you want to vote for. You don't vote because somebody else tells you to. It's just
it needs to be more personable,
Right.
basically. I know exactly what you're saying. Now, how do you think voting in this election has influenced your perspective on politics in the future?
Well, I used to be really involved in politics. I went to I'm trying to think of how to put it. The American Legion puts it on every year. They have a boys' state and a girls' state. I'm not sure if you've heard of those. They host girls' state at Southern Miss, and they host boys' state at Ole Miss.
Okay.
And I went to boys' state. It's just a simulation of the state government.
Okay.
That was a week-long thing, and I was elected the commissioner of agriculture for our little state.
Cool.
And then we elect 2 senators to represent Mississippi at Boys Nation, which is like just a big thing of the national government. And I was one of the ones elected to go to that in Washington, D.C. for a week. And it was fun.
Wow.
So I've been in politics a little bit. I've stepped back out of it because of the volatility of it and the
Yes.
social unrest of it. I don't like being associated with hate or anything like
Yeah.
that. But this year has definitely sparked my interest back into politics.
That's really good to hear. Now, did voting impact your sense of connection to your community or to people with differing views?
It does. Like, my main thing is that politics should not destroy a relationship.
It should not.
There's bigger things to a person. There's the person's own character, which rules way above the political things that they believe. I think that we should judge the person by their heart and how we see them versus how the versus how the ballot sees them. So that's one of my big things.
Now, what would you say to someone who feels like their vote doesn't really make a difference?
It does make a difference. You know, I may have said that there were 150 million people voting in the election, but that still doesn't mean you can't be one of them. As an American citizen, that's one of the biggest things you can do to help your country outside of actually running for a position or military stuff. Like that voting, if you don't go vote for a senator or a representative, then how are things in your state going to be improved?
Exactly.
If you don't vote for president, how is it not going to be improved? If you don't go vote for your mayor, you know, it's just things like that. It's all integral like that.
Yeah. Looking back, what's one thing you wish you had known before going into the voting process?
I'm actually, I don't really know if I have an answer for that. Like I thought everything was just fine. You know, I kind of knew. Like I said, I researched the people. I think that's what everybody ought to do is research the candidates thoroughly. Don't believe that just because like they could, the media or somebody could tell you, hey, this candidate said this, when in reality they said something totally different. You know, you need to do your own research and look into it. But I don't think I was fine with the election process.
Yeah. Okay, that's really good to hear. Are there any changes you'd like to see in the voting process to make it more accessible or engaging for young people?
I don't really know how to make it more engaging for people my age. My thing is just go vote. And, you know, you'd see, I saw all over Instagram yesterday, all my friends with their I voted stickers, and I thought it was so cool. But it's just like, go vote. That's all.
Just go vote.
The only way I know to provoke voting more is just say, go vote.
Now that you voted, do you think you'll stay involved with other aspects of civic life like local elections or advocacy?
Oh, definitely. I definitely will. I've had small ambitions of one day maybe running for like alderman positions or a mayor position, something
I
like
see
that.
that.
And it's not off the table. I may try it one day, because whenever I'm in an area for a long time, I grow attached to it. My hometown, I've been there 20 years. I have a bunch of family that's lived in Hattiesburg. I come down here. I stay with some of them while I'm at college. So I have places I'm deeply connected to and deeply care about. And one day I feel like I would be dedicated enough to try to give back to it.
I totally can see that for your future, honestly. What are your hopes for the future now that you voted? What kind of impact do you want your vote to make?
I hope my vote made a good impact. No matter which way the presidential election would have gone, I would have been satisfied either way, because I know that it's all going to be all right.
Yeah, it's going to be okay.
And Bob Marley said every little thing going to be all right, you know, and I believe it will. So I have hope for the future. I have hope for America. I have hope for Mississippi. I'm a Mississippi guy, born and raised, and I'm an American by birth too. So we got this.
We got it. Looking ahead, how do you think this experience will shape how you view future presidential elections?
This presidential election could have gone a lot differently. I think it could have been handled better.
Yeah.
I watch a bunch of old TV and things, and I go back and I watch old debates like Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale in 1984, Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy back in the 1960s. And when you watch how they debate each other, it's not a war on each other.
Yeah.
They're both two men who want to do good for the country. They just have their own different ways of doing it.
Exactly.
This year, or 2016, 2020, 2024, and even a little bit of 2012, it's nothing but, you know what, this guy is a piece of junk.
Yeah.
He's not a good human being. She's not a good woman. It's all this kind of stuff. if you'd have asked Donald Trump and Kamala Harris to say one good thing about each other, they wouldn't have done it.
No.
And that's not how we need to be running our country.
Not off of hate or attacking each other's character.
Right. I hope that changes soon.
Yeah. I think it'll definitely benefit how we view, and a lot of people will view politics as well.
I've told people that watching the vice presidential debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz, it was such a refresher because they knew how to handle each other.
Exactly.
They did not insult each other. It was so civil. I said if them two had been running for president, it would have been a way better election.
Yeah, just thinking about past elections, you can definitely see the difference of energy because back then, around election time, it wasn't as tense as it is now. It kind of just seems like we're all divided, and I definitely think changing that source of energy will help us feel together as a country as a whole.
Definitely.
Finally, what message do you have for other first-time voters who might be nervous or unsure about the process?
Don't worry about it. Just go vote. Get out there. Do your research. Have faith in who you're voting for. Have faith in your country. Have faith in your fellow American. And always remember that the politics don't matter. You know, it's just a formality. Everything's going to be all right. Don't worry about it.
Do you have any other final words before we end the interview segment?
I just want to say good afternoon to all my Republican, Democrat, third party, and independent Americans. I love you all, my fellow Americans, no matter what.
Oh, that was sweet. Thank you so much, Andy, for sharing your experience with us. It's inspiring to hear from young voters like you who are committed to making a difference. By voting, you're helping shaping the future, and we're proud to have you here at Southern Miss. For everyone tuning in, remember that your vote counts, your voice matters, and like Andy, you can be a part of creating a positive change. Coming up, we have a news wrap with Nishranika reporting on a new sensory room for neurodivergent computer science students on campus.
For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishranika. Sometimes when I'm overwhelmed, I just want to stay in a quiet room with calming lights and a weighted blanket. And while I can do that on campus, computer science majors will soon be able to. The School of Computing Sciences and Computing Engineering is now opening a new sensory room to help promote socialization and productivity among neurodivergent students. The department noticed that neurodivergent students often found it difficult to navigate the sensory-rich environment of college. Dr. Liz McGowan explains the purpose of the room.
So the room was originally created to give neurodiverse students within the computing science and computing engineering space to go if they, were experiencing sensory overload or, needed somewhere quiet or, if they were anxiety or having issues like that. So
the room will be equipped with a range of sensory tools like weighted blankets, noise-canceling headphones, fidget toys, and calming lighting. Jessica Hillman, the assistant to the director of the USM School of Computing Sciences, explains that the room was made to help students manage anxiety and stress and foster social skills.
And I think the goals were, you couldn't say it better than this, the primary goal of this project is to create a sensory room that caters to the unique needs of the neurodiverse students. And our objectives are reducing the stress and anxiety, regulating sensory input, improving focus and attention, and fostering the development of social skills and relationships. I think that's key.
Students also seem excited about the room. Stephen Josie, a computer science major, expresses his views on the topic.
Having a sensory room would definitely help the students. It will especially help the individuals who have ADHD or who have problem focusing. And these days, distractions can bother us a lot. So having a room dedicated, having a room that helps us focus will definitely be a plus to the department.
I wish chemistry department would do that, but I will have to take care of my chemicals-induced headaches at home for now. For Southern Miss Student Media, I'm Nishranika.
Thank you so much, Andy, again for sharing your experience on voting for the first time today. And of course, a big thank you to the whole team that makes Southern Miss Today possible. Carl, audio engineer, Gabby, our print producer, Shania, our program director, Ari, our executive producer, Hannah, our assistant producer, and of course, our general manager, Darton Marlin. We couldn't do it without you guys. I'm your host, Miracle Jennings, signing off. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Southern Miss Today. Have a wonderful day.